Hey everybody, it's Amanda Beeson again, here to show you some more things you can do with switch access for iPad. Today I'm going to demonstrate a what's called an iPad recipe. A recipe is pretty much where you have an app that you want to be able to use that might not be set up for scanning or any of the other things that other ways of accessing an app using a switch. So you want to sort of program a gesture that you would do with your finger to occur when a switch is activated. So you can do lots of fun things with these. You can turn pages in ebooks, you can turn music on and off, skip through CDs, skip through tunes on like iTunes or Pandora or something like that. And then what I'm going to show you today is just something quick you can pull up in GarageBand to get some of our students using switch access participating in music class. So I've got GarageBand right here. And something that a lot of our music teachers do, especially in maybe adapted music, is they do activities where they're just trying to get everybody kind of on the beat and sort of feeling where the beat is, or participating, clapping, and so on and so forth. So today I'm going to show you how to get, just real quick, a simple little clap using GarageBand right here. So the way I got to this is in GarageBand. If you go to drums, and then you go to smart drums, and there are so many millions of things you can do with this. I just picked this because it's quick and simple and shows you how the iPad recipe works. So over here you see I've got this little clap icon, and if you tap it, you get a little clapping sound. You could do the same thing, kick drum, snare, shakers, lots of fun things that you can tap. Anyways, I'm going to take a simple sticker. You get these at the dollar store. They're for like putting prices on stuff at garage sales. And I'm going to put that right over. And I like these because you can tap right through them. So I know where I'm going to want my little finger tap to go. Now that I know that, I'm ready to set up my recipe. So don't move that sticker. That's got to stay there. Another thing to point out is when you're creating recipes, make sure that the iPad is oriented in the direction you plan to use it. So if your student uses a tablet holder that holds it in the horizontal plane, don't set up your recipes in the vertical plane, because all the recipe is really doing is telling it to complete some sort of gesture on some part of the screen. It really doesn't recognize what app you're in or the orientation or anything like that. Okay, so we're here in settings, we're under general, we're going back to this accessibility. We're going to switch control, which I've already got. My red switch is my switch that I have added, so that's already there, which is good. You want to have your switch that you plan to use already added before you go setting up recipes. And then right under there is recipe. And Apple gives you a couple of recipes already. Tap the middle of the screen is one. Turning pages for like something in iBooks or something like that is already programmed in there. Those might be good to use. I talked in another video about how you can use the actual iPad screen itself as a switch. And one thing you might set up for a student is if you want them to turn a page or do something like that, you can set the screen up as a switch. So if they hit anywhere on the screen, it's going to do that gesture you want them to do. So turning the page or pressing next maybe. In BoardMaker or some other app, you can definitely set that up too. But we're using the external switch today. We're going to create new recipe. We're going to name it. So I'm going to name this clap in GarageBand. You want to be pretty specific, especially if you're going to have lots of recipes. You don't want to be confused about, when you're going to launch a recipe. What recipe is this? We're going to assign a switch. We've only got one, so it's our red switch. And we're going to go to custom gesture here, but you can see there's a lot of things that you can pick from: right to left swipe, left to right, that sort of thing. So some of those are already in there. And then go to custom gesture. And all I'm going to do is tap right there where I put my little visual cue. And then again, If you wanted to add a different action for a long press, you could. Maybe we'll skip that for now because I don't want to do too much stuff and be too confusing. I'm going to go back and back. And, oh, you know what I forgot to do? Down here, don't forget to launch your recipe. So if you want to use that recipe right away, you got to go to launch recipe and then to the recipe you want to launch. Now, what I always end up doing is I go ahead and turn it off, yes, and turn it back on. And this is going to come up. Your switches are configured to use clap in GarageBand. So if that comes up, it's telling you what recipe it automatically is going to use when you tap that switch. So you want to make sure you pay attention to that. So let's go back to GarageBand and see. There you go. So this could be a cheek switch. You know, you could have it just position wherever they have active range of motion and can hit. And then this is a really easy way just to get a little bit of participation in a rhythm activity. Thanks for watching.